in due course of time, as the language of consciousness seeps into life, we will be able to appreciate each other's differences. We'll be able to understand why we are the way we are. As of now, the phenomenon of life is so mysterious, our fear automatically puts us in a place where we assume individuals to be deep down problematic. Unless and until someone proves to us that they are worthy of our trust, we mistrust them. Deep down, we look at individuals as they are hiding something. Their true intentions are something different. But with consciousness, it becomes clear that no, individuals are extraordinarily beautiful. The deeper you go, the more magnificent they are, the more simple they are, the purer they are. It is only at the surface that there is this problem with understanding who they are. And hence they express themselves in ways they express themselves. At least we'll be living in a world where deep down we will not question whether a human being is good or bad. A human being is an expression of divinity or an expression of evil. That would be a beautiful world to live in, where we will deal with situations. We will deal with problems as they arise. But when there are no problems, there is no need to imagine that individuals are problematic. There is no need to be deeply skeptical. As this understanding becomes more and more common, we'll start seeing each other as extensions of ourselves. It's going to take time, but naturally this will happen. Yes, we will still be individuals. That's the whole definition of an altered state. An altered state does not know that it is the ultimate. It will still be identified with the body. We will still be attached to our individual ways of looking at things. But when there is a conflict, when there is a problem, we will know how to resolve it amicably. We will not resort to violence. The last thought would be, let me bomb that guy. That's the first thought process that arises now. Because I don't understand myself, I don't understand you, everybody is my enemy. So I have restrictions, boundaries. If you don't move like the way I move, if you don't think like the way I think, if you don't eat my food, if you don't wear my clothes, if you don't believe in my God, I can destroy you. This division is kind of real in our world today. We don't realize how extraordinarily we are able to navigate through this problem and still have some kind of connection with each other. Think about it. We don't know the underlying principle that is connecting us. We don't know who we are at the depths of our being. That is why we deal with the problems using rules, restrictions. But deep down, we are disconnected from each other. All that will change. Humanity and existence will become one expression. We will see each other as a part of this grand design. That will help us to deal with our egos. As of now, it is the ego that is dominating our interactions with each other because we don't know who we are deep down. Hence, the ego can operate in total blindness. It can claim everything for itself. And in that ignorance, it hurts. It creates a lot of trouble. Imagine Hitler knew that he's an expression of consciousness. Even as idiotic as he was, he would not have done what he did. It would have perfectly made sense. Well, yeah, these people are different. They are believing and they're thinking, they're acting in a slightly different way because they're a different expression of consciousness. In fact, what they're talking about is exactly the same thing I'm talking about. The language is different. He would have seen there is no existential divide between the Jews and the Germans. How can there be? There's one consciousness, one process, and this language is there in the books, in the conversations. There is no way he could have pursued with this complete blind misunderstanding. It's a misunderstanding if you actually think about it, to see a group of people as inferior. How can there be anything superior and inferior under consciousness? The ego gets checked right there. It will still be there. The ego will still operate as an individual expression. But when it starts crossing the boundaries, when it starts imagining things on its own, leaving consciousness out, it will be put in its place. Some internal realization will just inform the ego, okay, this is enough. This is enough to play the game of life. But beyond this, you will just be unnecessarily troubling yourself and everybody else. This realization would have dawned to Hitler. Okay, this is my life. This is how I am seeing myself. But eliminating a group of people is stretching it too far. In fact, it would not even have been possible for him to come that far. When consciousness is the language of life. So there is no question at all that the right understanding of consciousness will help us to know each other better, will help us to connect with each other better. It will remove some of our suspicion, doubt, and mistrust. That itself is enough to turn this world into paradise, because human beings are spectacularly creative, intelligent. We know how to solve problems. It is only when we are completely ignorant of something that we are stuck. But once we are shown the way, we will follow, we'll figure out a way. In that sense, I have no doubt whatsoever that humanity will use consciousness to illuminate everything around it, as well as give the choice for an individual to understand themselves. And that, it's a process, it takes time, but eventually it will infuse our individual expressions with the ultimate expression, consciousness, whose very nature is to be complete, whose very nature is to be content, joyful, blissful. The qualities of consciousness that we are searching in our human experiences will become available to us. And now that will change the way we interact with ourselves and with others.